Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal News. My name is Nigel, and I will be your AI narrator. Today's article comes from UFO Sightings Footage.uk. The headline is Air Force Intelligence Officer. Alien was recovered called Eva, and was male. At Corona, New Mexico. This is literally straight from the horse's mouth. In fact, this is the guy that was one of the gatekeepers who guarded the pyramid of top secret and spectacular information. There were two UFO that crashed in 1947 in New Mexico. And one crashed near Corona, which is public record. But the second craft is not public record. And it is this one that Mr. Doty says crashed at the same time as the Corona UFO. But that it was not found until 2 years later. According to Mr. Richard Doty, himself an intelligence officer in the Air Force. It was recovered from way out at Magdalena, New Mexico. Check that link for the map of the area. Here is the sobering part of the whole event. The UFO that crashed near to Corona, New Mexico, actually had an extraterrestrial entity recovered from there. It was a male. And it was called Eva. He lived out his remaining life in the Los Alamos Air Force Base. While Eva was held against his will, he actually gave up some very interesting information. A plethora of information about what they had learnt about the universe. And that his species was at least 50,000 years ahead of the human race. This is by far some of the most believable information that I have heard. Because I think he is telling the truth. He seems genuine. He sounds believable, and I am certainly not going to dismiss him. Just because I struggle to understand what it means. In terms of what our role in this means. Does it affect us? What if his species finds out we imprisoned one of their own? And yes, these kinds of things have never worried a human being that we know of before. And although it is still hard to believe, I am going to believe it because I am going to research into this more. And if I dismissed it now at this stage, I would have nothing more to research. You see, this is why keeping an open mind is vital. You should always keep an open mind, because the second you stop believing it, that is when it becomes pointless. That is exactly what I am not going to do. I have written too much over the years, and yes, I really do think we are coming so close to having the public brought up to speed about extraterrestrials definitely existing, and that we are not alone in the universe. It is neither here nor there for me, but for the public. I can see why it is important to have the government say yes. About Mr. Richard Doty, Air Force Intelligence Officer. Part of me wants this info, but part of me is saying do not do it. It is not worth it. You're going to lose a lot. Even if it is not as bad as you think. Everyone knows how a whistleblower is treated. Seriously, we will get the information eventually. But it is his choice. He has always been aware that he had a choice whether or not to come forward with this information. I understand it now. He knows it is going to take someone that was there. Someone that can be verified as being there. Not the actual UFO crashes. But there as in control of the top secret information. And privy to the most secret of information. He has deliberately took this on. Because he knows what it takes for the public to become a believer. And he knows it is vital for people to know the truth. We are looking at this video, and he is one of the guys who has actually made it to TV. And has told his side of the story. That has taken a lot to do that. Alien disclosure has happened. It is just that you're programmed to only believe in something that the government allows you to. Seriously. Think about that for a second. We do not need a government to tell us what we already know is real. Because we have got reputable people who are willing to put everything on the line to tell us the truth. Just like this former Air Force intelligence officer Mr. Richard Doty. Can you imagine what he has now lost? Can you imagine being this guy just for a day? It is enough to make anyone cry at how he has, without a doubt, been treated. The snubbing, the loss of friends, the loss of reputation, and the loss of a career. Okay, it is only my opinion about how he has been treated after breaking ranks and breaking away from traditional silence. But it has all based on similar examples of what other people in the exact same situation have been treated. Sometimes it is worse, as you're in no doubt and probably fully aware that some courageous people are no longer with us. This is the murky, hidden world of a whistleblower. Because that is exactly what he is. There is something bigger than himself. Something bigger and far more important than the government lies. And it is a truth which should not be denied to anyone. Especially when it will change the course of all history. So he has done the right thing in my view. Remember this, guys. It is only treasonous if the information is correct. Maybe on this subject and only this subject. The government will not proceed with enforcement of criminal justice. Because they know that if they do, it is up to them to prove he divulged real information. Anyways, the alien is called Eva and is a male. The information overall is that extraterrestrials exist. And the US government recovered an alien 2 years after the Roswell, New Mexico crash of a UFO in 1947. And that is the end of the article. This was an interesting article. Whistleblowers risk everything to try and get the truth out. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about this one. Do you believe that this whistleblower is telling the truth? As always, it is up to you to decide for yourself. Until we speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you. And so do we.